But handling AI as a tool or set of tools is a complexity skill. Like those who are rising to the top or like able to position themselves for this labor market really are people who know how to manage AI and who know how to leverage the tools, and that's a complexity skill. And so that's something we would measure. That would be like kind of later stages in the evolution of our tool, in the sense that what we could measure would be like complex, like ability to hold complexity. And that's a really useful thing for these environments where you're hiring less people maybe, but you need them to be more fluent with complexity.
Yeah, that's interesting because as the technology advances, skills have to shift, and they have to shift substantially in certain areas and certain industries. And every industry is going to be affected, and certain more than others. And the whole skill range is like completely, I mean, what was typically required is kind of botched. I mean, it's still important, but the emphasis isn't as high. And the people that I know that are in my age bracket that like I went to high school with or in college and they're doing a great job, they're all very sophisticated in using these AI tools to optimize the companies that they work at. And
Exactly.
they are in leadership positions or they do like high level consulting for large Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies. Like, how do you build apps and do these things and optimize these processes? And I don't know, maybe, and I'm in a similar space too, like where that's like it was pretty much my gig when I first started on at the company I work at now. It's like, okay, how can we be more efficient? How can we get better, faster?
Yeah, and I
And
think if you measured, the capacity of those individuals, they'd probably be quite high, and it'd be interesting to look at like who's being selected for those roles and how they would show up in our scoring system.
yeah, overall, I think that the progress that we're going to make on many different aspects is going to be huge. But I'm also very excited about like, what Founder Readiness Institute is looking to do on this capacity standpoint, complexity, like all these things. I find, and I've said it before in the episode, and I've said this before many times in this episode, like the phrase, but it's just overall very fascinating to be able to look under the hood on something you haven't been able to do before in like this kind of sophistication. Like you could go to a course or maybe go to like these individual people, but there isn't like a standardized system to evaluate these measurements. Like it's all subjective, but I, I find it very cool and I'm super interested in seeing the results is so I can see like what's under the hood. Like I don't even
Yeah.
know what's under the hood for myself. And so
Yes,
to
I'm
be able to,
really excited to share your results. No, it's really fascinating when you get them, because what we've heard is like, I just had a founder recently say my mind was blown. Like that was her literal feedback, as she just said, I couldn't believe that you pulled out what you did from the transcripts.
you're literally pulling out nuggets of information out of my brain. So,
Patterns. It's I just think, some people are good at reading other people and picking up on these patterns, but like anything, it's a skill. And I think a lot of people are overestimating or over aggrandizing their ability to make these assessments of people. And it's just like anything else, it's good to have professional input or kind of a third party to augment your decision making. And so that's really the role that we're playing. We're not saying, hey, we'll come in and make the decision for you. It's like, here's some more information. um, so
okay, maybe a leadership evaluation mediator.
yeah, that's a nice, I like that, mediator. And we're also helping try to prevent mediation from needing to happen. So all those lawyers and mediators that are required are largely a result of like a lack of understanding of people patterns, because that's later stages when conflict arises, and maybe that some of those examples could have been caught earlier.